It's later with Mo Kelly. Did you ever wake up one morning and just look outside and it takes you back how gorgeous the weather is? This, for me, was one of those days. Now, it's hot as bejesus out here in Burbank, but waking up and looking outside, not a cloud in the sky. I could hear the birds chirping, the dogs barking. Of course, my dogs always bark. But it was a gorgeous beginning to the day, and I said, this is going to be, yeah, it sounded just like that. It's going to be a great weekend. I could just feel it. How better to acknowledge mothers? It just seemed like it was a sign that this is how we're going to acknowledge all of our mothers. Mother figures, maybe stepmothers, mothers who have passed on and no longer with us, but obviously have left an indelible mark on us. It's a gorgeous day. And I think that sets the stage for what I want to accomplish tonight. I want to hear from you. We're going to be opening up the phones in the second hour, just to let you know. We're going to shout out our mothers. We're going to thank our mothers. We're going to, what they say, big up our mothers for everything they've done. Because I know, if I was a parent to me, all the things that I did, all the things that I said, all the places I went, and somehow my mother still cared for me. Somehow my mother still loved me. Somehow, some reason my mother still protected me. I don't know if I could have been a parent to me. I talk all the time about how I do endorse corporal punishment. You know, I was a kid who was spanked. My mother and father, they spanked my ass left and right. And it kept me out of jail, and it kept me out of the morgue. Because I was one of those kids who was, let's just say, I was a problem. If I got caught doing all the things that I did, I promise you I would have been in jail or dead or some combination of both along the way. But my parents, specifically my mother, stuck with me. And we battled. She'll tell you, she's probably watching right now on YouTube. I hope you're watching right now on YouTube at Mr. Mo Kelly. I at times was a handful because I was a rebellious child. She doesn't know all the times that I snuck out of the house at night. She doesn't know that. Well, she does now. But that was 40 years ago. So it's okay now. She doesn't know all the wayward things that I did. And somehow, some way, she still was there to love me. So in the second hour tonight, I definitely want to hear from you as we open up the phones. We are going to be talking about mom, our mother figures, those women, specifically women who were there to protect us, to counsel us, to chastise us, even punish us, sometimes even provide an obstacle to us to make sure we did not make that wrong move, that wrong step that we were determined to make. I don't know how many times my mother said, you're not going to do that. And I said, but why? Everyone else is doing it. And she said, no, you're not going to do it because you're my responsibility. She knew better. I didn't think so at the time, but she knew better. And Twala, you know my mother, she doesn't play. She says whatever she thinks.
Absolutely.
With all the profanity involved.
With righteous fury.
Yes, absolutely. I didn't appreciate it then. But I know I more understand it now. I can say, thank you, mommy. And I still refer to her as mommy. I have no shame in my game. She'll be mommy until I leave or she leaves, one or the other. She will always be mommy. And, and it's one of those things where it's hard for some folks. It was hard for me as you get older to say, oh, she was right. Oh, she actually did have my best interests at heart. Oh,
it's like, that's one of the worst realizations when you're like, damn it, she was right.
It's like, damn it.
She was right.
I knew everything at the age of 21. How is it possible that I didn't know everything at 31 or 41 and 51? And it's almost like the older you get, the smarter your parents get. It's a strange phenomenon. Each year that passes, I'm reminded of something specifically that my mother or my father said to me, did for me, or tried to protect me from. And it's like, oh, that's what they're talking about. Oh, that's what they mean. Oh, now I know what she was referring to. It's almost like you don't actively think about it, but then you call back, upon it. Like you can just recall, it's like, oh yeah. Now I know what she meant, why she didn't want me to do this drug, or she didn't want me to get involved with that crowd or do these things, because ultimately she was trying to make sure that I had a rest of my life. She was trying to make sure that I had a rest of my life on my terms as opposed to the state's terms. Because there's a lot of stuff I was doing. I think the statute of limitations has passed on some of these things. There are a lot of things that I was doing that I'm not proud of. And no, I'm not going to tell y'all what it was. I'm not going to share everything. People be listening out there. I don't know who's listening. Think about all the things that you did that you didn't get caught doing. Think about that. Where would you be? And who intervened? For me, it was my mother and my father, because my father was a physical disciplinarian. Oh, yeah, he lit my ass up left and right. And a lot of those spankings stay with me today. And a lot of them had protected me. I told you about the only 2 times that my mother slapped me. 2 times. And I earned both occasions. Both times. And I told you one time she slapped me when I was 17 years old, getting ready to go to college. Georgetown University, Washington, D.C. I thought I was grown. I thought I was a grown-ass man at 17. You can't tell me when to come in the house. I'm grown now. I don't have a curfew. Well, she gave me one. You're going to come in this house at midnight. And I said, okay, sure, mommy. And I went out for the night. And in my house, I didn't have a key. So that meant somebody had to let you in. But I didn't care. I was leaving in 2 days, 3,000 miles away. I wasn't going to have a curfew when I was in college. So why do I need to respect the curfew now? I've already packed. You know where this story's going. I know you do. Oh. I walk in the house. It was after 2. It was after 2. And since it's a come to Jesus moment and we're all telling the truth, yeah, I had a little bit to drink. That's, can I tell the truth tonight?
So you added to it. Yeah, I didn't know about that the first time I heard about this.
No. It's true. And I think that's part of the reason why I was feeling myself. So I had to ring the doorbell. Ding dong. Mother comes to the door. And she just opens it up, didn't say a word. I walked in the house, walked by her. And, and every parent has said this at one time or another. Didn't I tell you? Whatever maybe it's like, didn't I tell you to have your behind in the house at midnight? And I said something to the effect of, I don't care. I'm getting ready to go to college. What? And that was that. But she was trying to prepare me to be a responsible adult. And she was trying to, even though we disagreed on the methods and the means and all the subtle details of what it meant to become a responsible adult, I knew now, or I should say I know now, that she knew better for me then. And I'm thankful for that. That's just one anecdote I have. So tonight, we're going to make sure that we celebrate our mothers, whether they're still here or not. We're going to say to them collectively, thank you. And I know that there's someone listening right now who may call in and say, I didn't have a really good relationship with my mother. I get that. I respect that. And I understand that. But see, that's the power of a mother. They can have this lasting impact on us in such a way that we carry with us for the rest of our life. And we're going to make sure that we have space and place for those callers too. It's Later with Mo Kelly, our pre-Mother's Day edition.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
It's Later with Mo Kelly. Pre-Mother's Day celebration, and I mean that, celebration. Some other anecdotes. When I was growing up, I couldn't wait to drive, and when I did start driving, I can't say it's still kind of true. Speed demon. I had a heavier foot than most. I can admit that. And there was a time, I want to say this was in my 20s, so this was a long time ago. My friend Paul Hackamack, he would fix up cars. He had old Camaros and other cars, muscle cars, like big block engines. And we would go out and we would drag race. This is long before Fast and Furious. We would drag race, usually down Sepulveda Boulevard or Torrance Boulevard or Hawthorne Boulevard in that Torrance area. It was really, really stupid. Let me just say, it was dumb. but it was exhilarating. I understand the point of all this. I understand why young people, especially young men, feel like they have to drive like Fast and Furious, weaving in and out of traffic. It's really dangerous. And now I'm old man, get off my lawn. It's like, you need to slow down. And I always would wish that there was someone from law enforcement, be it, LAPD or CHP, depending on where I was driving, who would intervene. And I guess I'm not the only one. And there is a new CHP cruiser, which is supposed to blend in and make it a little bit more difficult for these speed demons and these drivers who are driving so erratically and so aggressively to identify them. Now, hopefully, that these Incognito CHP cruisers will be more aggressive in ticketing and also arresting some of these drivers. Because if you see some of these drivers, it's just out of control. It is really scary at times. I'm thinking like, is that Mark Ronner? I don't know.
Today, I'm at the CHP Fleet Operations section in West Sacramento to announce the newest addition to our fleet, the 2024 Dodge Durango specially marked patrol vehicle. For over 40 years, the CHP has used specially marked patrol vehicles to tackle specific traffic safety challenges. These new patrol units, distinct from our iconic black and whites, retain the manufacturer's paint job, helping officers blend into traffic and catch reckless drivers in the act. We're deploying 100 of these vehicles statewide to confront a growing threat. Aggressive drivers who speed excessively, tailgate split lanes,
That's right,
and endanger lives.
Now, if you want to see what these cruisers look like, we're playing some of the news report on our YouTube at Mr. Mo Kelly, so you can see them. They are varying shades of gray and smoke and black. So it's not like they're uniform. You won't be able to just pick them out. They look like, if they don't have their lights up, looks like any other Dodge Durango cruiser until they're not. We'll see what their engagement, their policies are.
When they spot our marked units, they often change their behavior briefly. These new patrol vehicles will help us hold them accountable. Each Durango features a V8 Hemi engine, police pursuit package, concealed 360-degree emergency lighting, and a version of the CHP badge on the door. Officers in full uniform will operate them primarily on multi-lane freeways with a clear mission to identify and stop reckless and dangerous drivers.
Damn right.
Despite advances in vehicle safety, California still sees over 4,000 traffic deaths annually. Most of these are preventable.
Lock them up.
A small percentage of aggressive drivers put everyone at risk.
Put them in jail.
For nearly 100 years, the CHP has worked to keep our roads safe.
Give them a runner.
We take that mission seriously.
2 runners.
These new vehicles are another powerful tool to protect California's motoring public and help everyone arrive home safely.
I gotta say, it's different now than it was 20 years ago. Yes, I'm older and probably more intolerant to the aggressive driving, the reckless driving, but there's not a day now in which I'm driving, which you don't see someone acting like they're crazy, driving 85 and a 55, weaving in and out of traffic. And here's the thing. They are making the assumption that no one else is going to move. They're making the assumption that they're the best driver out there and everyone can see them. All you need is one person not aware that there's someone driving through their blind spot at 90 miles an hour, no exaggeration, and all of a sudden you have a major, major accident.
I personally would love these things to be on the streets, period.
Hello.
I believe that there are way too many criminals with long distance popo vision that can see the police come and know how to hide what they're doing, break out, get a signal, anything. If you have more and more unmarked vehicles, I believe more and more criminals will be apprehended in the act, even if it's smash and grab robbers who are waiting to see cars patrolling the area. No, have an unmarked vehicle start rolling up on some of these cats.
I would at least want them, because in the video that we played and that audio, they was saying that the highly marked cruisers, the regularly marked cruisers, were too identifiable and people would change their driving habits. Well, as far as I'm concerned, if you've witnessed them driving erratically or aggressively or dangerously, you can still cite them. I don't know if that should be a deterrent. I want them to be more aggressive as far as this dangerous driving, because that impacts all of us.
Yeah.
And I want to see how it's actually going to work out. Are they going to engage more often? Because if they see as much dangerous driving as I do on a daily basis, because I'm sitting in traffic for at least an hour coming to work every single day. So it should not be hard to find these dangerous drivers. It's every single day on just about every single freeway, I would venture.
You have to hope that they are going to do exactly what you asked, that they are aggressive in the punishment. It can't be warnings. It can't be just tickets, because your average driver speeding can get a ticket. These new cruisers have to have some real Judge Dredd level enforcement, where you could potentially lose your license, lose your car, because that's when you're going to have the shock and awe. Otherwise, it's like, well, you're just a regular car then.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter if you catch me if nothing's going to happen.
Right. If you're just going to give me a ticket, then okay. Then there's no need to have a different style cruiser, because we already have speeding tickets. We already have reckless driving tickets. There has to be something more. There has to be something more as far as the engagement policies, and there has to be something more as far as the penalty goes. If you're actually trying to change driving habits,
like if you lose your keys and your license right there, like we will be taking your license.
You mean impounding the car
right there. Not later. You lose it now. We are going to call a tow truck right now. You're going in the back of the cruiser. You're getting locked up. And we are towing your car. You're losing your car. You're losing everything.
Look, I'm fine with that. They just have to be willing to do that. We'll see how it happens. We'll see. And I want to know, and I didn't get a chance to say good evening to Mark Runner. Mark, how are you doing this evening?
I'm pleased that Tuala made a Judge Dredd reference. So
pop culture.
If you're going to invoke the WWJDD rule, I'm all for that. What would Judge Dredd do about this?
But you and I are both very sensitive to other people's driving habits.
Well, I'll tell you, as a reporter, a former reporter, I have covered so many traffic fatalities. Car, train, you name it. You don't want to be involved in this. You may think you're driving like you're driving in a video game. You don't get to respawn. Okay? I've seen the aftermath of things that would stop you in your tracks and curdle your blood, like a car being rolled up into a little metal ball with the female driver inside it, trying to beat a train across the tracks. You don't want any part of that. I promise.
How much do you think media plays into this as far as what they see in movies, the TV shows, the car chases, the live car chases that we see oftentimes on news today?
I'm always really hesitant to blame any human behavior on any media, because people have free will and make their own choices. And if that's not the case, then life is utterly meaningless, if you're following me. Okay. But I'm human just like anybody else. If I watch Bullet, I give myself a little pause before I get behind the wheel, because you want to do that.
Kind of a little amped up.
Yeah, of course.
All right. I hate it when we agree, but
yeah, it's boring.
Here we are
hate
again.
It. Listeners don't like that either. They want us to mix it up.
It's Later with Mo Kelly. Be sure to check out the show on YouTube and Instagram live at Mr. Mo Kelly, MrMokelly.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI, Mr. Mo Kelly here, live everywhere. And also, we are live on YouTube. We are live on Instagram. So check us out there. And if you're going to go to the YouTube channel, make sure that you like and subscribe. It makes it easier. When you come on back, you can find us and find the show whenever you want, even previous live show video. Let's talk about the 10 most dangerous states in America. And this is according to the Best States analysis. That's what it's called, Best States ranking. And the FBI stresses that numerous factors can affect the amount and type of crime occurring in different areas, including climate, economic conditions, law enforcement priorities, and population density. Many crimes also go unreported, as we all know, and are not included in this type of data. So this is about the 10 most dangerous states in America, according to this FBI data. Anyone want to make any predictions for number one before we get started? I have not seen this list, I'm being honest.
It's got to be somewhere in the South.
Okay. All right. We shall see. Coming in at number 10. South Carolina. You might be right, Mark. And of course, my computer is now messing up.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it does that.
We'll just have to guess the rest of them.
No, all right, no, we won't. Here we go. Number 9. Hopefully this my laptop will stay together. Nevada, strangely enough. Yeah. Imagine that. Now I'm thinking, is it all in Las Vegas, or is there something else which is making Nevada more crime, likely? Because I don't think the state of Nevada is being one big criminal cesspool.
No, that's surprising.
All right, let's see. Number 8. See if anyone recognizes this state. Good old California. We're number 8. Most dangerous states in the union. A violent crime rate, 508 per 100,000. And the property crime rate, 2,326 per 100,000.
Well, you play the odds. We're the most populous state, almost 40 million people, so that makes perfect sense.
Let me see, number 7. You might enjoy this, Mark. Washington.
You shut your filthy mouth.
357 per 100,000 violent crime rate, and property crime rate 2887 per 100,000. I'm not thinking intellectually that Washington, the state of Washington, would be in the top 10 most dangerous or criminally infested states.
It's got to be on the eastern side of the state where all the white supremacists are. I just watched The Order movie. It's all those people.
Okay, if you say so.
I mean, that's what
you're going with?
My story, and I'm sticking with it.
Number 6 of the most dangerous states in America. Alaska. I could almost intellectually understand that, because after so much cold and so much darkness, or even so much of uninterrupted sunlight, you probably go crazy.
Oh, come on. Everybody in that Palin family has a mugshot. Are you kidding me?
Violent crime rate, 726 per 100,000. Property crime rate, 1,877 per 100,000. Coming in at number 5 of the most dangerous states in America. Arkansas. We're back on track.
Yep.
Violent crime rate, 620 per 100,000, and property crime rate, 2229.
A lot of banjo-related assaults.
Is that a Deliverance reference?
Probably.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Squeal like a pig.
All right. Number 4. Tennessee. 628 per 100,000 violent crime rate, and property crime rate 2,362 per 100,000.
The pattern holds.
Yeah, it's going to keep on holding. Number 3 of the most dangerous states in America. Carnisha, you want to do the honors? You want to do the honors? You have to turn on your mic. You want to do the honors?
I'm not even surprised.
Louisiana.
I agree.
Violent crime rate, 548 per 100,000, and property crime rate, 2,630 per 100,000. And coming in at number 2 of the most dangerous states in America. Colorado, interestingly enough. I would not have foreseen that. I wonder if there's any connection to the legalization of marijuana. I don't remember Colorado being that high.
It's legal in all sorts of places.
Like California.
And Washington. Wait.
See? You walked into that one.
I don't like this. This is a BS list.
Mm-hmm. And the most dangerous state in the union, according to this survey. Any guesses? Anyone?
Missouri.
Okay. Nikki, our new producer, says Ohio. Okay. Let's find out what it is. New Mexico.
What? There's nobody there.
Oh, but what? Though they have One of my family members is a police officer in one of the cities. I'm not going to be specific for a number of reasons, but it's in New Mexico.
There's no CSI Albuquerque, okay?
They have a lot of gang and drug activity, a lot in New Mexico. I can't quantify it, but it doesn't surprise me. Just from what my family member tells me about what he does in the state of New Mexico, it is rampant. When you say Wild Wild West, they're talking about New Mexico, without a doubt.
Mind-blowing.
If I didn't have a personal connection to New Mexico, I wouldn't have believed it either. But since I do, and my wife is from New Mexico and can also tell me about what it is, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Crossing that one off the vacation list.
Oh, right. You would think it's got to be idyllic. It's got to be, so tame and quiet and serene in New Mexico. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. Surprising to some, just not to me.
And people wonder why I'm a cynic.
Oh, I don't wonder why. But we're both cynical in that regard.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Joining me in the studio is a new face and a new voice to the station. We're going to call our producer, Nikki, right now. And Daniel, bring up her camera. Nikki, welcome. Thank you for joining us because you're working with us tonight. You've been working with other shows. And when I was first introduced to you tonight, because we met tonight, I stopped just said, wait a minute. Can I ask you where you're from? Because your accent was so very, one, I liked it, but also I couldn't place it. So Nikki, how did you come to KFI?
How did I come here? From Australia.
What part of Australia? Go ahead and lean into that microphone.
I'm from a place called Bondi Beach in Sydney. It's a very famous, beautiful beach.
Now, how close is that to the big restaurant that we always see? Or is that in Auckland?
Which restaurant?
What's the Mark, you know what I'm talking about?
I have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
Okay.
The Opera House?
Maybe it's the Opera House.
It
has a restaurant.
does have a restaurant.
How about that gift shop?
Right, that too.
The name of what it is its title. It's the Opera House.
Restaurant, right? The Opera House
there's
restaurant.
a restaurant there.
A restaurant.
I'll tell you a fact about the Opera House.
Please do.
My father, when it was being built in the 70s, was a security guard there. When they were building it in the early 70s or the mid 70s, he got chased by a possum. It scared him.
If you're a security guard, I don't know if you're supposed to run from possum.
He's tiny, my dad. He's like 5'4", so he was not
Australian possums must be really fierce.
very scary.
Okay, well, I could understand if it was like a kangaroo because those things are vicious. And
No, they're not. That's a lie. They're lovely.
They're jacked. Have you seen those things?
they are buff. They are huffed out.
Yeah, but they're not going to punch you. I mean, I've tried chasing them. They just hop away.
You would actually approach a kangaroo? See, I would never
100%,
approach. I
yes.
would never approach a kangaroo.
Yes, kangaroos are great. They're friendly. They don't really care.
Okay, the stuff I see on the internet and social media says otherwise. But
lies.
I will take your word for it, Nikki, from Australia. Let me just ask you this. What brought you then to the United States?
Oh, a new life, a fabulous life in a wonderful country.
Where did you first learn about the United States? Was it just in school? Did you have maybe a trip over here or a relative?
Sesame Street. Are you kidding?
As in like PBS Sesame Street?
Yeah, Sesame Street. That's and Grease. See my T-shirt? Grease, Danny and Sandy.
But that's more like zombie Grease.
Yes, it is. But Sandy, Olivia Newton-John.
That's
yes.
right. That's right.
My number one hero.
When did you decide to make that jump and just come to the States?
I've been here since 2014 and I have not returned back to Australia for a visit, which is a tragedy.
Do you still have family there?
I have lots of family and friends there. All my family is there.
I had a friend who's doing an exchange student program many years ago, and I think she said the flight was like 13 hours direct.
It's like 14 hours from California to Sydney. It's a long schlep.
Yeah, I would never go back either for that.
No, it's a lot. But I used to live on the East Coast, so that's like 24 hours flying. And I lived in London, which is like 30 hours flying. So
you have literally lived around the world.
yeah, I'm well traveled.
What has that taught you, or what has that shown you about the world in which we live?
Lots of different people that I need to be more patient with. I'm a very impatient person, so All walks of life.
You're an impatient person, and you're now in Los Angeles, have to deal with this traffic?
Yeah, and I'm going to get arrested for my Tokyo Drift style driving.
So we were talking about earlier, that applied to you.
You were talking about me. I'm a menace on the roads, but I've never been pulled over.
Well, knock on wood, we don't want anything bad to happen to you.
I agree.
You've worked in entertainment for a while.
Yes, I have.
Before radio, what were you doing?
I was a print journalist, and I also dabble in a little bit of acting on the side.
Ooh, do you have any good acting stories real quick before we go to break? You're allowed to tell?
I just did a TV series. I don't know how much I'm allowed to reveal, but I'll give you a hint. The actress has a similar accent and name to me.
Okay, your first name is Nikki.
Yes.
And I'm thinking, who might have a similar accent to you?
And a similar name.
Kidman, perhaps?
Oh, yes! Nicole Kidman. Where is she from?
She she was born in Hawaii. So she's Australian, but she's American-born Australian.
A fraud.
I did not know that. Like Barack Obama.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
He's American.
Yeah, I know.
Careful.
I know. I got to be real careful.
Daniel liked that one.
Nikki, welcome.
Thank you.
May I politely ask you, is your mother still with us?
She is. She's in Australia, but she's a New Zealander.
Is Mother's Day a thing in Australia and New Zealand?
It is, but we celebrate it on a different day. I think we celebrate it the same day the UK celebrates it.
You want to narrow that down for me? Because I have no idea when they do.
I want to say September. I could be wrong,
Okay.
though.
All right.
Yeah. But I can tell you the best advice my mother ever taught me that stayed with me to this day.
Please do.
Good manners cost nothing.
Good. I can't say it with your accent, but good manners cost nothing.
Yes.
I like that.
Good manners. So you drop the R off the end of the word.
Good manners.
Good manners.
Good manners.
Yes. Good manners.
I'm not going to try to duplicate your accent because then they'll think I'm mocking you, and I don't.
No,
want
I
you to
love
think
it.
that.
I think it's funny.
She taught me how to say a few things. First of all, real quick, it's Sunday, March 15th.
Sunday, March 15th. Okay, so you missed it.
Yeah.
All right.
But she was teaching me how to speak in Australia. It's really interesting how it works. You really have to say like American words, and you just say them together, and it sounds Australian.
Yes.
All right, then I'll start practicing.
Yeah.
Will you help me out sometime,
I've
Nikki?
got a phrase I can teach you, and you'll be Australian in a second.
Is it like vulgar?
No.
Okay, good.
No.
But can you teach me something vulgar, though?
I can off air. Yes.
All right. Well, I wouldn't want you to do it on air. Nikki, welcome.
Thank
welcome.
you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming on with us as well.
Thank you.
It's Later with Mo Kelly.
Your vaccine for stupidity. KFI.
And KOST HD2.
Los Angeles.